And we're off and racing for the MoneyWeb sponsored mixed open race. On the near side, the base cap of Ballydonnaboy from the early leader. Orange cap in the centre of Morozov Cocktail. Wouldn't be much between the pair. It was Morozov Cocktail actually took off first at the CW Strickland fence, the first of their 19. So heading on past the jump, a couple of circles to run, Ballydonnaboy following narrowly now. From Morozov Cocktail, and up the inside, Tigerbythetail, and happy to view his three rivals on the back of the field at the very early stage is Gustavo Goodway. So heading on to the fences along the wood side of the course, Ballydonnaboy with Morozov. This one in front from Morozov Cocktail, Tigerbythetail, and held up back in form is Gustavo Goodway. Onto the middle of those fences, galloping away from the Sierra Child Park. All four jumping well. All experienced performers here. The senior member of the field, the 12-year-old Ballydonnaboy, who heads on to the Cundall Stitch. Jumps well. Gustavo Goodway has moved up into the third. Now, Felix Foster, just dropped to the back of the field now, is Tigerbythetail. But one of them in touch, and we're going to take that left-handed turn to the far end, the 2.5 mile start. As you can see, there's about 3 lengths first to last. As we head on to the next fence along there, the half-width agricultural engineer fence, and onto the open ditch. Gustavo Goodway, who Felix Foster is going to settle out the back of the field, really taken to the restraint, and now gone on, jumping the ditch. Tigerbythetail didn't jump it very fluently in last, didn't make the greatest of shapes. Now Gustavo Goodway has pulled his way to the front, has injected some pace into the race now as they head on down the side of the course. Gustavo Goodway has gone on by 4 lengths from Morozov Cocktail, a similar distance back to Ballydonnaboy, and 3 lengths back to Tigerbythetail. So all of a sudden, an injection of pace from Gustavo Goodway has opened up things here as they jumped the middle one when Morozov Cocktail was untidy, and again, not for the first time, Tigerbythetail wasn't the greatest over the fence. So on to the last in that line, Gustavo Goodway. Well, they were all much better that time, all clean and slick through the air. So back through the starting area and swinging back into the home straight for the second time, and onto that CW Strickland fence, which in a circuit's time will be the last. Gustavo Goodway, who is the winner of the Men's Open at the Yorkshire Jockeys Club meeting here, leads the way. From Morozov Cocktail, the conditions race at that meeting, and then Ballydonnaboy took the Ladies Open, and Tigerbythetail now up for a share of third with Ballydonnaboy as they head out onto their final circuit. Gustavo Goodway, we just had a little think about where the boxes were there. It's been reduced now, it's only 4 clear as they head on to the top circuit. Then the first on their final circuit. Gustavo Goodway jumps well, Morozov Cocktail, Tigerbythetail up the inside. Ballydonnaboy, those 3 to close down on the leader, Gustavo Goodway. Just has a tendency to jump slightly to his right along this section of the course. Ballydonnaboy just pushed along there for a couple of strides by Tim Rogers as they go to the Cundall Stitch for the final time, all 4 circuits over. So they're heading on to the turn at the very far end of the course. So inside their final mile of the Costas now, and Gustavo Goodway took it up at the open ditch on the previous circuit. It's gone on again here by 5 or 6. Morozov Cocktail in second, and then Ballydonnaboy, Tigerbythetail. Didn't get very high there, the leader. still enjoys a good lead of 6 lengths as he heads on to the open ditch for the final time. Get very high there, across his momentum, down to about 4 lengths that lead now. Morozov Cocktail pushed along for a few strides there by Thomas Easterby. Then Ballydoner Boy has been ridden along, and Tigerbythetail is being ridden back in fourth. So heading on to the half-petroleum fence for the finish, Gustavo Goodway has got his 3 pursuers in trouble here. He's gone on by 6 lengths. Driven in second, Morozov Cocktail, then Ballydoner Boy, Tigerbythetail are both under pressure and not making any inroads on the leader. Tigerbythetail's got to be a good 12 lengths down. Didn't get very high at 3 hours, Gustavo Goodway, but he continues in front. Heading on to the second last, the Andrew Guide estate agent fence, and he's still 6 or 7 clear here, Gustavo Goodway. Jumps it well, Morozov Cocktail in second, Ballydoner Boy, Tigerbythetail, as yet not making any inroads. Can Gustavo Goodway hang on here? So he swing left-handed into the home straight to take the CW Strickland final fence. Gustavo Goodway, the others are beginning to close now. Morozov Cocktail, who's second in the green ball recently, he will stay all day. Gustavo Goodway, let over the last by about 2.5 lengths from Morozov Cocktail, but Gustavo Goodway is going to keep on and cause a bit of a shock here. Good riding in Felix. Second Morozov Cocktail, Tigerbythetail back in third, and then Ballydoner Boy.